In modern agriculture, a single farmer can operate a tractor that plows, plants, and harvests hundreds of acres in a season. The machine does the work. The farmer guides it. The engine provides power. This is how most of America farms today. But just a few miles away, in a landscape unchanged for centuries, an Amish farmer is plowing the same type of ground. No engine roars. No diesel smoke clouds the air. No wheels crush the earth. Just two horses, a wooden plow, and a man who has been doing this work since childhood. He will plow fewer acres in a day than the tractor driver, but by the end of the season, his field will be equally productive. His soil will perhaps be healthier, and he will have spent almost no money on fuel. How is this possible? How can a farmer in the 21st century operate a competitive farm without the machinery that modern agriculture considers essential?
The answer isn't magic or special knowledge. It's understanding horses, planning carefully, working as a family and community, and maintaining knowledge that industrial agriculture nearly abandoned. The Amish have lived in North America for nearly 300 years. They've maintained a way of life deliberately separate from mainstream American culture. Their rejection of tractors isn't about being backward or stuck in the past. It's a deliberate choice rooted in their religious beliefs and philosophy about community, self-sufficiency, and living within natural limits. Different Amish communities have different rules. Some use certain machinery powered by engines, as long as it's not connected to their homes by electrical lines. Some have adopted limited technology for specific tasks. But most traditional Amish communities share a core commitment. The farm itself operates primarily through animal power, family labor, and the knowledge accumulated over generations. This creates a fundamentally different farming system than what modern agriculture has adopted. This knowledge, how to farm without tractors, is transmitted directly through practice. A child doesn't learn from instruction manuals or agricultural college courses. They learn by working in fields with their parents and grandparents, gradually understanding through experience how animals respond, how soil works, how seasons influence timing, what crops need to thrive. By adulthood, an Amish farmer possesses practical knowledge that modern agriculture has essentially abandoned. The foundation of Amish farming is the draft horse. These are specialized animals, selected and bred for strength, temperament, and reliability. A draft horse might weigh 1,700 to 2,000 pounds. Their muscles are enormous. Their strength is genuine. A team of 2 such horses can pull a plow through soil that a modern small tractor would handle. Harnessing and connecting horses to equipment requires skill. The harness must fit properly, or it injures the animal. The connection must be secure, or the equipment might separate during work. The farmer checks everything: straps, buckles, connections, before beginning work. This isn't casual. The horse's welfare depends on proper equipment care. Training horses takes years. A young horse must learn to respond to voice commands: G for right, haw for left, whoa for stop. It must learn to pull in harness. It must learn to remain calm when equipment clatters behind it. It must learn to work alongside other horses. An Amish farmer has invested thousands of hours training horses before they're reliable for field work. This investment in animal training is something modern industrial agriculture has completely abandoned. Working with horses requires constant communication and observation. A modern tractor operator mostly sits and steers. A horse farmer must pay attention to the animals constantly, watching for signs of fatigue, adjusting pace based on soil conditions, ensuring the animals remain calm and focused. This constant engagement means the farmer is never truly just a passenger. The work is interactive.
Care for the animals is a daily responsibility that never ends. Horses must be fed morning and evening. Their water must always be available. Their health must be monitored constantly. An Amish farmer essentially has livestock to care for, even in winter when fields aren't being worked. Tractors require maintenance, but not daily feeding. Horses require constant, personal, daily care. This is real work with real demands.
The Amish plow isn't dramatically different from plows used 100 years ago. The basic design is the same: a blade that cuts through soil, a mold board that turns it over, handles for the operator to guide direction and depth. Some modern Amish plows incorporate metal improvements and better construction, but the fundamental principle hasn't changed because the principle works. Beyond the plow, an Amish farm uses various pieces of equipment, all drawn by horses. Seed drills plant seeds in precise rows at consistent depth. Harrows break up compacted soil after plowing. Cultivators dig between rows to remove weeds without disturbing crop plants. Reapers and binders cut grain and bind it into bundles. Most of this equipment has been in use for over 100 years, but it works because the design is efficient.
Equipment maintenance is a real skill. An Amish farmer must understand how machinery works, because when something breaks during the season, it must be repaired quickly or work stops.
Let's go.
The farmer often does repairs himself or seeks help from a blacksmith or mechanic within the community. This requires knowledge that modern farmers often lack. They replace parts rather than repair them.
Planting with horses is slower than with a tractor, but modern research shows that slow, careful planting often produces better results than rapid planting. Seeds are planted at consistent depth. Spacing is even. The soil is disturbed minimally. These factors can contribute to better germination and healthier plants than aggressive, rapid mechanical planting sometimes produces.
Once crops are planted, the field must be tended throughout the growing season. Weeds compete with crops for water, nutrients, and light. In modern agriculture, chemical herbicides kill weeds without touching the crop. For Amish farmers using horses, physical removal is necessary. A cultivator pulled through the field between rows breaks up soil and removes small weeds, but larger weeds must be hand-pulled.
Weeding is perhaps the most labor-intensive part of farming without herbicides. An Amish family spends enormous hours, multiple family members working long days, removing weeds by hand. This is not romantic or quaint work. It's back-breaking, repetitive, and exhausting. Children's fingers are sore. Adults' backs ache. This is why Amish families need to be large. The farm genuinely requires many hands throughout the growing season.
The coordination between person and animal and equipment becomes obvious during cultivation work. The person controlling the horse must keep it steady and in line. The operator of the equipment must manage depth and ensure the blades are working properly. The person monitoring the crop must watch for weeds being missed or crop plants being damaged. This requires attention from multiple people simultaneously. During crucial periods, haying season, for instance, the entire community participates in shared labor. Multiple families gather at one farm, working together to complete essential work before weather changes. The work is hard, but social. The gathering includes shared meals. It's work, but also community bonding. When one family finishes their hay, neighbors move to the next farm. The labor is shared, and the obligation to help is mutual. By midsummer, the results of spring and early summer work become visible. Fields that received consistent cultivation have fewer weeds. Crops are healthy and growing vigorously. The effort invested in hand labor and careful work is producing results. An Amish farmer surveys their field with satisfaction, knowing the work they've done is supporting crop growth. Harvest season is the most intensive period on an Amish farm. Grain must be cut before weather deteriorates. Hay from late cuttings must be dried and stored. Corn must be harvested and preserved. Everything must happen within a narrow window of opportunity. The work is continuous and demanding during this period. Grain harvesting without combine harvesters requires multiple steps. A binder cuts the grain and ties it into bundles. These bundles are then stood upright to dry, a process called shocking. After drying, the bundles are brought to a threshing machine, which separates grain from chaff. The entire process is labor-intensive, slow, and requires multiple pieces of equipment and many hands. The shocking process, standing bundles upright to dry, takes days or weeks depending on weather. During this time, the bundles must be monitored. If rain threatens, family members must work quickly to cover bundles with tarps. If wind rises, bundles can be blown over. The process requires constant attention and quick response to weather changes. Threshing brings the community together. A central machine is shared among multiple families. The work is intensive. Bundles must be fed continuously, grain must be collected and bagged, chaff must be managed. The threshing typically continues for an entire day. By evening, multiple families' grain has been separated, cleaned, and ready for storage. The cooperative nature of this work creates genuine community bonds. Corn harvest is also labor-intensive. Unlike grain that can be cut and bound mechanically, corn ears must be removed from stalks individually, either by hand or with equipment that still requires significant labor to operate and manage. Husking corn is work that continues into winter, often done indoors in the evening. The entire family participates, making the work somewhat social, but still demanding. Without tractors, transportation of farm products requires horses and wagons. Moving grain from field to storage, hay from field to barn, products to market, all happens via horse-drawn equipment. This slower pace means logistics requires more planning. A farmer can't simply jump in a truck and make a quick run to town. Travel by horse requires significant time commitment. The pace of work changes dramatically. A modern farmer can accomplish multiple errands in a morning. An Amish farmer might make one significant trip per week because the travel time alone consumes hours. This slower pace shapes how work is organized. Tasks must be batched. Multiple things must be accomplished during a single trip. Planning becomes essential. Direct-to-consumer sales are more common among Amish farms than among industrial farms. Because producing volume for commercial distribution is difficult without mechanization, many Amish farms emphasize quality and direct relationships with customers. They sell at farmers markets, through community-supported agriculture programs, or to local restaurants. This approach works economically because they're emphasizing value rather than volume. Working without tractors is genuinely hard. It's physically demanding. An Amish farmer's day begins before dawn and ends after dark during peak seasons. The work is repetitive and exhausting. Injuries from equipment are common. The weather controls everything. A bad storm can ruin a week's careful plans. There is no weather forecasting technology. Decisions are made based on sky observation and accumulated knowledge. Agricultural accidents happen. Equipment gets fingers or hands. Animals can injure people. Heavy equipment falls. An Amish farm has no emergency room nearby. Medical help requires travel. Serious injuries can become catastrophic without quick access to professional medical care. This is a genuine risk that Amish farmers accept as part of their chosen lifestyle. Seasonal limitations are real. From late autumn through early spring, no planting or harvesting can happen. This period allows time for equipment maintenance and planning for the coming season. But it also means winter income must come from stored crops produced earlier. A poor harvest means genuine hardship. There's no supplement from off-farm income or government support programs in most traditional Amish communities. The physical demands don't diminish with age. An Amish farmer in their 60s works as hard as someone half that age. There's no retirement plan built into farming without mechanization. Work continues as long as the body is capable. When an Amish farmer can no longer work, the farm might pass to a son or be sold. But the person who built their life around farming must find meaning in something else. A transition that can be difficult.
The Amish demonstrate that farming without tractors is genuinely possible. It requires more labor. It requires more knowledge. It requires more planning. But it works. Productivity per acre can match or exceed mechanized farming. The soil can actually improve rather than degrade. The community bonds strengthen rather than weaken through shared labor. Here's a question worth considering. If tractors and petroleum became unavailable tomorrow, would modern agriculture have the knowledge to continue? Could a modern farmer operate without diesel fuel? Would the knowledge of how to farm with animals, the understanding of soil, the skills of managing without machines, would any of that knowledge remain? The Amish have kept this knowledge alive. In a world of increasing uncertainty, that might be more valuable than we realize. If this glimpse into Amish farming has interested you, please like this video and subscribe for more documentaries about traditional agriculture, forgotten skills, and cultures that have deliberately maintained knowledge that mainstream society abandoned.